Hello, and welcome back to 922. I've got some stuff to talk about before we get started today. So, the beginning of the next chapter that we're going to be reading features a scrolling animated background, and normally it looks pretty technically impressive. Like, I would be curious to know how Cockhole managed to pull this off in ren'py, but unfortunately, with my laptop being the way it is, aka kind of underpowered, the footage is going to come across fairly choppy. Not as bad as I feared it might be, but still pretty rough. And trust me, I am frustrated about this. I do wish I had a more powerful computer at my disposal, like say a proper desktop. Hell, that would open up a lot of options for games that I could record in general, but I don't want to put this reading on hiatus right when we're halfway through the story just to wait until I have a better computer, because I truly have no idea when I'm going to be able to afford something better for myself. So I would rather just proceed with the reading as normal and have this one bit look maybe a little bit worse than I would like. I will say that it looks a lot smoother and runs perfectly fine on its own without me recording it. And I will remind you that 922 is completely free, so you can go download it right now and read it for yourself if you want to see the scrolling background look the way it should. And I will encourage you to do that. This is a good story. Also, with all that out of the way, a quick content warning. This chapter will feature discussion of a traffic accident and maybe some of the traumatic things associated with that. So if that makes you uncomfortable or uneasy or however else, proceed with caution. Anyway, let's pick up from where we left off. Ian is the world's greatest driver. We're cruising 30 in a 35 mile per hour zone, tight against the right side of the road. His gaze is calm. It lets go of the road only to check on the rearview mirrors, each in its respective turn. Left hand solid on the wheel, right hand loose on the gear stick. I didn't realize manual cars still existed this side of the millennium, but the ride is so clean that had I not been sitting right next to Ian, I wouldn't even be able to tell that he's changing gears. Pisses me off. Any other worse driver would have gotten us there 10 minutes ago. So, you ever go bowling before? Yeah, a couple of times. Were you any good? I think so. Out of me and the couple of friends I went with, I usually did the best. So I better watch out, is what you're saying. I think I was 14 at the time. But yes, maybe you should. What about... I yawned through my nose. How about you? Are you a secret bowling champion? This is my first time, actually. But I might be. You never know. Could be. It's been like this. Ever since Ian returned from his sick days, nothing but limp, non-starter half conversations. We just can't get a groove going. I keep thinking back to what Andrew said. It's gonna be weird if you don't address it. Would it, though? Kurt certainly didn't seem to give a shit about how many boners I pop in public. I don't think anything's different between me and Ian, either. I mean, he invited me to come hang out with him. That means we're cool, doesn't it? Fucking Andrew. I keep catching myself holding my breath, and I doubt that it's only because Ian had overdone it with the fake new car smell. I bet it's all in my head. Would have been just fine if it weren't for Andrew bossing me around. Doesn't that obstruct your field of vision? Huh? Oh, the charms. Yeah, a little bit. It was fine until the dream catcher. My mom got it for me when the semester started. You like them? It's my collection. You sure have a bunch of them. Let's see. You've got a shamrock, a horseshoe, a bunch of crucifixes. You aren't religious, are you? My family's Catholic, technically, but I haven't seen the inside of a church since, it's been a while. Alright, then what about... I squint to the swinging amalgam. The medal with St. Paul on it. It's a St. Christopher medal. He's the patron saint of travel. Classic car decoration. Creepy eyeball things? They're Nazars. Evil eyes. You see them a lot in the Middle East. Why would you hang that in your car? It's considered good luck. Basically, the belief is that everyone on Earth is constantly thinking bad thoughts about one another. Like, jealousy and stuff. And when you think bad stuff about someone, that attracts the evil eye to gaze at them, which brings them bad luck. The Nazar is there to neutralize it. It's like an eye for an eye thing, get it? Lots of really interesting traditions surrounding those. Sounds a bit misanthropic. Are you constantly thinking bad thoughts about me? Only sometimes, Spence. These are all good luck charms, huh? They are. Well, sort of. The Dreamcatcher isn't. And you believe all that stuff? Nah, not really. They're all trinkets they sell to tourists. Wouldn't complain if any of those sent some positive energy my way, though. Right. So, were you always into the occult, or...? Good luck charms aren't the occult, Spencer. Are ghosts? A few years now. I know it sounds like schlock, but this area gets a lot of paranormal activity. There's like 7 of those movies. Incident rate shot through the roof just last year. Actually, when did Paranormal Activity come out? I have never seen any of those, so I don't remember the timeline, but I know there's a billion of them for whatever reason. Anyway. Jesus. It's worse than I thought. And I'm part of these incidents, aren't I? I saw your dead body. I don't know how I could make that any more clear. Best not make me angry, Ian. If I'm really a ghost, I'll take vengeance by whooping your ass in bowling. I'll keep that in mind. We ride in silence for a minute. A row of student motorcycle drivers wearing matching orange jackets overtakes us. That was a nice stretch of conversation. I feel my shoulders relaxing already. Nothing weird's going on between us. Just a couple of dudes talking about the undead. Sorry for being a jerk about it. Huh? Don't worry about it. You're nothing compared to what my family thinks of my little hobby. I'd imagine. So you just woke up one day and decided to become a ghost hunter? Sort of. I went online and started reading. It's all on forums these days, you know? Only the most reliable source. Oh, you wouldn't believe the amount of garbage people put out there. Any 13-year-old with a computer and a set of fingers wants to write the internet's next great ghost story. Some of them are really cool, actually, but they are what they are, you know? Stories. After a while, you learn to tell them apart from, like, real accounts. Sounds, time-consuming. I had a lot of free time during high school. Right, that's what I thought. That's another thing that's been gnawing away at the back of my mind. and there won't ever be a better opportunity to bring it up. Better handle it delicately. Is that when you had your accident? Oh, for fuck's sake. Andrew, you dickbag. Sorry. Andrew told me about it. He said he wouldn't mind if I knew. We were talking about your tail? I'll shut up if you don't want to talk about it. I don't care. It's just that... His speech slows down to a soft monotone. You kinda sprung that up on me there. How much did Andrew tell you about it? Just that you were hospitalized and are still recovering. Please don't tell me that you're going to die in a year or some shit. Just like Andrew to lead that part to me, I suppose. You want to hear how it went down? Damn, I really did walk into my own carefully laid trap there. No more questions. Never again. I just want to roll some balls down a lane, have a good time. Hit me. His grip tightens around the steering wheel as he takes air in. It happened after I got my learner's permit. My brother, Lucas, was watching over my driving from the passenger seat. I don't remember this, but I'm told I rolled us into a ditch somehow. All in broad daylight. Anyway, I woke up a couple of days later, unable to stand up. Apparently, it's a fucking miracle that today I'm able to walk at all. Lucas didn't survive. I really like that scene. I wish I was able to showcase it better. But again, you can download this for yourself if you really want to see it at a more consistent frame rate. Jess, holy shit, take your turn. Oh my god, Becky, get off my back. Can't you see I'm making a drink? Bitch, you've been making a drink for the past hour. Becky. Rebecca. Becky. Tiny bear, pink nails. Becky. Her friend, the dog with the nose ring, is Jess. And then there's Todd Hopkins, who's inexplicably also among Ian's friends. That's all of them. I think I'm safe. Safe from the hypothetical situation where one of them decides to quiz me on their own name. Did you speak to your guy, by the way, Ian? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, he said that we'd have to speak to the head of the math faculty. Though, I got the impression that our chances aren't that great. Apparently, introduction courses are all standard or something. No duh, but like half the class failed, Ian. If it's so standard and we still all failed, it can only mean Professor Collins sucks at teaching. That's not our fault. I guess there's no harm in getting a meeting arranged. We're divided into two lanes. Ian, Becky, and Jess are on one lane, and on the other are me, Todd, and Kurt. Bowling always goes a little faster than you think, so we all spaced out our turns by hanging out at the little seat area next to the balls. I don't think I've been bowling since, like, literally elementary school. I may have gone bowling, like, 3 times in my entire life. I remember it being fine? Kind of boring? That's all I have to say on it. I've never been much of a sports kind of bird, you know? It's worse than hell. These overgrown high schoolers have no hobbies or interests outside of what's new on TV. Right now, the only reason they're plotting to get the statistics prof fired is because they temporarily ran out of gossip about who I assume are other people in our class. How did you do? Had to remember her voice there. Oh, she's talking to me. I did bad. Yeah, but, like, how bad? I failed, Becky. Coming out of my mouth, her name may as well be the name of a Filipino dish. Yeah, but what was your score? 12. Wow. Nice. Out of 100? Appreciate your input, Ian. What's up? It's your turn. I probably should have cleared it with Ian whether I could let Kurt tag along. Hope nothing happened between them. Kurt's presence here is the only thing keeping me from losing my mind. I pick out my favorite ball. It's blue and heavy. Has a large number 14 engraved on it. I like the way it sounds when it hits the floor. My balance wavers for a moment as I step onto the oiled parquet. Parquet? I don't know how to pronounce that word. I probably should have looked that up. Anyway, they didn't have shoes my size. Well, actually, they probably did, but the lady at the counter had enough tact not to suggest the kids section. My strategy is flawless. Aim for the third pin right of center, but keep your eyes on the left corner of the lane. The ball's weight determines the speed at which I cock my arm backwards. I step forward. I let go. Becky and Jess giggle at me from the other lane. I'd have probably done better if my hands weren't absolutely freezing. God, what's with the air conditioning in this place? My shirt's collar digs into my neck, soaked in sweat. Whatever. It's not like I could do any worse. Didn't you say you were good at this? That was great when I was 14. The girls laugh again. No, go back and listen to their later albums. Are you thinking of Rusty Cage or something? Most of it is more like Black Hole Sun. That could be it. All their stuff is slow and weird like that. Don't get me wrong, it isn't a bad song. Just not my thing. And did they really need to package it with some shitty best of album along with fucking Guitar Hero 6? Just get it online like a normal person, dude. Is it my turn? Yeah. What? You holding up okay? I'm good. Cool. I'm glad these two found some common language. When we got here, I was worried my entire lane was going to sit in complete silence for the entire night. Hell, if it wasn't for Kurt, I'd probably have to strike a conversation with Todd, and Todd is a bit... Everyone knows Todd. He's kind of doing his own thing. What does that mean, Spencer? Whatever his own thing might be, it makes him incredible at tossing a ball. Ian, Jess, and Becky offer their compliments. Kurt silently claps twice. Hey, I'm gonna go out for a smoke after my turn. You wanna come? What, make it even more obvious to everyone that the only reason you're here is so you could babysit me? I'll pass. Suit yourself. Before Todd has a chance to come back, I slink over to Ian's lane. We've set up a little drink table on a chair we borrowed from the cafeteria. The staff didn't seem to mind the booze that these children brought in, so I doubt they care. I pull a fresh cup from the sleeve and loudly open a can. Half a cup Red Bull, half a cup vodka, right? That's how it goes. Fuck, having a hard enough time concentrating as it is. Your turn, Spencer. I'm gonna take a piss. So, Spencer. Holy shit, my heart skipped a beat. Where did he come from? I heard some rumors about you. Rumors? What kind? About you coming back from the dead. Oh, thank God. It's only that. What about it? You want to know the secret to eternal life? Ian thuds his ball back onto the rack in the corner of my eye. No one has yet to confront me about this nonsense other than him. I'm just kidding. It wasn't me, it's just some guy who looks a lot like me. We've never met. David Johnson, right? My chest tightens for a moment. Can't tell if it's because of that name or heartburn. Right. You're familiar with the case? Male, roughly our age, found dead just outside the Institute due to a health problem attack. Is that what you're about to tell me? That's what the police say. Do you believe the police? Not generally, no, but... Where are you going with this? I know you and Ian are friends. Right, I get what you're saying. Let me show you something. Hey Jess, do you know any David Johnsons? Both girls glare at him. No. Becky? No. Ian doesn't either. Isn't that right? So what? There's a couple thousand students here. You can't expect everyone to know everyone. Or are you about to tell me you've hacked into the school records somehow so you could check? The flimsy plastic cup pops as my hand tightens around it. Breathe. Don't get worked up. You've thought this over 1,000 times. Kurt knows him. What? Kurt knows David Johnson. Isn't that right, Spencer? He was friends with David. We can ask him. We could. That's one entire person who knew this guy. And whoever wrote the article, and the police, and... Don't play coy. You know better than anyone that the article was a cover-up. If it wasn't a murder, he waggles his finger at me, would not be here bowling with us. What's that supposed to mean? Leave him alone, Todd. Yeah, Todd, you're going a bit too far. Spencer had nothing to do with anything. Just let it go. Really? Really? After all this time? Yes. After the time stuff, the poltergeists, and the poem. That's... Ian's voice cracks. Pardon me. That's right. Todd's eyes skitter from me to Ian, and from Ian back to me. Boy, am I glad Ian decided to field this one. The pressure between my eyes makes it hard to follow whatever this guy is accusing me of. I think... You know, I think I know what's going on. You got too close. Excuse me? Yeah, I think I get it. You're always hanging out with him these days. And the murder isn't the only thing I'd heard about him. Again, with the pointing. Hey, what? You know what I'm talking about. Eric tells me you've been to the Freeman run, too. What are you saying? You know what I'm saying. No judgment, man. You do you. Easy now. Hey. I'm out of cigs. Gonna find a gas station. You fellas need anything? Todd remained quiet until we finished the set. Then, without saying a word, he left. Over the course of the rest of the evening, Ian and I exchanged only a couple of words. The ride home was heinous. Not only had I to endure the silence, but I'd almost lost the battle against barfing my guts out all over his car. For a moment there, I thought things were going to be normal. Maybe they are. Maybe I'm envisioning a platonic ideal of what normal is that may never be attained. I suppose it was only a matter of time until people found out about my love for cock. Again, funny way of putting that, Spencer. You can just say you're gay. And it makes sense that once that happened, someone would offhandedly use it against me. It happened before, and it will happen again. It sucks, but it makes sense. What doesn't make sense is how we got there. Almost sounds like something a paranoid Alzheimer's patient would come up with, doesn't it? Is Ian part of some kind of group of paranormal investigators? Is that where he knows Todd from? And were they investigating me? This is no big deal. It's fine. Do I care? They were probably the ones spreading the rumors. I don't care. I can't care. When Todd was throwing accusations around, I felt bad for Ian, and felt nothing for me. This is between Todd and Ian. I don't care. Almost feels like I should care. Like I should take the blame for this. Andrew did warn me something like this would happen, in his annoying, cryptic way. But that doesn't make sense either. Whatever had happened in the run has no relation to what happened just then. I didn't choose for Ian to study me like some kind of zoo exhibit. I didn't choose for him to get yelled at because he wasn't supposed to get too chummy with me. That is, if I'm reading the situation right, of course. Says a lot about me, doesn't it? That's all of them. Every person that tried to get close to me here has some kind of ulterior motive. Kurt's there because I promised I'd help him out with his revenge plot or whatever. I only see Andrew once a week, but he's not even trying to hide that he's been spying on me for who knows how long. And now it turns out Ian's got something shady going on as well. Just how much of a coincidence is it that Ian and Andrew know one another? Didn't even think about that. Must be that unattainable platonic ideal again. Maybe people never befriend each other without a clear goal in mind. Maybe I'm the dumbass for never having noticed something that's clear as day to everyone else. I just want to hang out without getting dragged into doing everyone's dirty laundry. Is that too much to ask for? Funny how you could feel nostalgic for the life you had only a few months ago. Back in high school, I'd yearn for the day I would finally get to enter the real world. I was promised that in the real world, things are normal. Certainly seemed normal before I got here. I'd go to the photo lab every day, say hi to Sally and William, talk to customers all day, and leave. No murders, no conspiracies, no finger pointing. No fear that every new person you meet knows you're a fruit. Spencer! You fall asleep in there? We're doing the resume workshop next. Feeling sorry for myself won't get me anywhere. If there's one thing that's for certain, it's that I'd taken my time with it for far too long. I gotta put my foot down. I'm not gonna get dragged into anyone's weird shit ever again. How is it not a problem? Don't you think it's bad that it's supposedly an industry standard to open your resume with lies? I mean, sort of. But if everyone is in on it, it's not really a problem, is it? It's a waste of time is what it is. And it's right there at the top of the page, as if it's the most important bit. Isn't that what the teacher said? Ooh, I'm a highly motivated, self-learner, upstarter, pull myself by the bootstraps perfectionist. All those other applicants said the exact same fucking thing about themselves, but me, I'm different. I even put an extra word in that sentence just to show you how special I was. God, I couldn't have retained more than 10% of that last workshop. You'd think high pay grade industry professionals would do a better job than college profs in keeping me engaged. The good news, that had been the last workshop for today. The bad news, now I'm expected to spend a couple of hours trying to impress recruiters for jobs that, as a freshman, there's absolutely no way in hell I'd land. I fucking hate job searching. It is the worst. It's terrible for everyone, and I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Just, Jesus Christ, the grind of, like, combing through applications on Indeed and updating your resume for for whatever specific job you're trying to get, and it just all sucks. It sucks and I hate it. Anyway, most of the recruiters have been here for hours too, giving the same spiel over and over, all for the tiny chance to snag a genius that's dumb enough to work for minimum wage. There's too many people here. I feel a headache coming on from all the noise. It's either that or all the pollen or something. I swear my head never felt this stuffy back home. On top of that, the weather's been changing, and I'm shivering despite my allegedly warm shirt. In fact, Ashu! Gesundheit. Hey. How are you all doing? Hi, Andy. Hey. Andy. Andrew, please, if you don't mind. No promises. How's it going? Work treating you right? Only the usual. Coordinating all the third parties had been quite a challenge, but it should proceed smoothly from here on out. Sounds awful. Let's say that I'm grateful to have been allowed to take the rest of the day off. You two know each other? We do. Kurt graciously helped me out with errands a couple of times last year. One of his council pals got on my ass for not letting the gate guard harass me, and I had to do menial labor for Andrew as some kind of fucked up penance. All students need to show their IDs when they enter the institute, Kurt. Especially the ones that get profiled by the guard. What about you? Huh? Oh, Andrew was friends with my brother. Ah, I getcha. Cool. I rubbed my eyeball for the 100th time today. I hate how my mind automatically goes there. There's no conspiracy. I'm not the center of the world. They all just kinda knew one another from before I met any of them. In fact, I bet I'd start feeling pretty left out if I had anything at all to say. Hey Andrew, wanna grab some lunch with us? Ah, sorry Spencer, no can do. Kurt and I have a small matter to attend to in a bit. What kind of matter? Oh, they're gonna commit a crime. Yeah. Makes sense. We are not. In either case, we better head out. Let's have lunch another time, Spencer. Yeah, later. Bye. Ian and I walk all the way out of the Institute's south gate. I've no idea why this place is still considered part of campus, but but what I do know is that the sandwich shop here sells all the same sandwiches the cafeteria does, except $1 cheaper. We pawed a couple of tastefully arranged stone benches in a nearby park. Unfortunately, they all seemed to be wet from the rain, so we elected to just take a stroll instead. Between the job fair and the cold weather, the campus out here is almost eerily quiet. A crow calls overhead. This is quite a ways away you took me, Spencer. Ian's digging his claw into the sandwich wrapper, looking for a spot where it would easily tear. I think he knows why I brought him here, and I think he can tell I know he does. Despite ample preparation time, I couldn't come up with how to phrase whatever this is. My jaw is clenched shut, and I have to rest my sandwich against my hip so that he wouldn't be able to see that my hands are shaking. Something on your mind? Whew. Okay. Deep breaths. Let's do this. A couple of things, actually. He takes a casual bite off a sandwich. You know, we don't have to do this. I can just apologize. I fucked up. I acknowledge that. And I'm really sorry. Really, really, you know? Damn. Way to blow the wind out of my sails. At least now I'm sure both of us are on the same page. No, we gotta. There's some nuance to it. Let's not... Ugh. It's gonna be weird if we leave this issue unresolved. We're grown-ass adults. Let's do this. Leave this issue unresolved, huh? Did Andrew set you up with this? He did, yeah. Better get this over with before my throat completes seizing shut. Okay. So, first thing. During the run. Uh-huh. I noticed that you were acting, kind of, strange, I guess. Wait, what are we talking about? Are you... Now, hang on a moment. I was hunched over because my back was killing me. I don't want to know what kind of weird stuff you and Angel were talking about that prompted this. But he told you about my back, right? That's not... You know about my back. You told me about it yourself. Great. Cool. Misunderstand it the worst way possible so that I'd have to spell it out, will ya? No. I'm not talking about, you. Then what? Andrew set you up with this? Dear Jesus. Could he not have cleared it with me first? Holy shit. Spencer, I'm sorry for looking at your ass like maybe 4 or 5 times. In my defense, your ass is lovely. Please don't take it the wrong way. What? What? This is stupid. He's even worse than I am. I could just tell him apology accepted and that will be that. But then it would be the same as if I hadn't brought it up at all. Okay, deep breaths. Is my ass the only thing you saw? Why are we talking about this? I said I'm sorry. So you did. Ian sucks air in through his teeth. It was really hard to miss, okay? You're absolutely shameless, you know that? Why didn't you even try to hide it or anything? I guess I... Huh. I think I'm running a fever. At least shivering stopped. You know how people in public showers would intentionally get a half chub so that it wouldn't look like their dick is small? Excuse me? Yeah. No, they don't. They totally do. And I thought that, yeah. Sorry about that. That's what I wanted to say. For a while, we each chew on our respective sandwich. Ian's must taste fantastic, because he's shoving as much of it as possible in his mouth with every bite. Mine tastes like nothing.
I forgive you, I guess. Though, what an insane thing to apologize about.
It really is. I mean, Andrew asked me to, you know?
I wonder about that. Hey, Spencer.
What's up?
You said you had a couple of things you wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Can I ask you something before that?
Shoot.
Who's playing the Hammond organ in the background? He's really going crazy. What's your opinion on men?
Gay.
Bye.
Glad that's out of the way.
How much of Thursday do you remember?
Let me try that again. That was read a little weird.
How much of Thursday do you remember?
What do you mean? I wasn't that drunk.
Sure did look like you were about to die.
So what about it?
And that's the other thing you wanted to talk about, right?
Yeah. How much of what Todd said was true? I finally get my breathing under control, and my chest relaxes. After the past few minutes, I doubt anything Ian's going to say will wind me up. He's crumpling up his empty wrapper and straightening it back out, probably trying to come up with the right words. I can wait. It's smooth sailing for me.
So, when you came back from the dead at my store, I told a couple of friends about it. And Todd is one of them. We met online back in the day. And I guess they got the impression we knew one another, so they encouraged me to hang out with you. You know, to keep tabs. It sounds pretty evil, now that I'm saying it, but... Look, I wasn't hanging out with you just so I could write reports or whatever. I genuinely think you're cool, alright? And for whatever it's worth, I hadn't peeped a word about you since,
Don't worry about it.
Huh?
Yeah, I forgive you. We're cool.
What do you mean?
What does he want me to say? That I don't want to make a big fuss over it because then it's going to be awkward as hell whenever we have class together for the next 3 years? I decided I don't care, is all. As long as I'm not, an active project of yours, I don't care. Can you promise me that? Can you not promise me that?
Of course I can promise you that. I fucking pinky swear it, Jesus.
Then what's up?
This sucks. For me, I mean. You being cool with me being shitty, and you confirming that, it's like the perfect storm of suck. But, you know, okay, you're right. Andrew's right, I guess, technically. Alright. Grown adults, right? I'm gonna say something. After we both acknowledge it, I want both of us to forget it, so that we can move on with our lives. And either way, it's better you hear it from me instead of from Andrew or Todd or whoever.
I'm listening. Ian takes in a big, dramatic breath.
Remember what Todd said? About how I got too close? That wasn't a lie. Don't worry about it, though, alright? I'm not an idiot, Spencer. I can tell you aren't interested. I wasn't even ever gonna do anything, and you being into dudes doesn't change that. I just hope we can still be friends.